Oh my god, I forgot to tell you about the horny scene.
So literally the Grim Reaper came to Earth, saw a really hot man, and was like, I need a human Sona, or else I'll never get laid. What's up guys, it's Kictor. I'm here with my beautiful girlfriend Stitch, who is going to tell us all about the world of Guardian. What do you mean there's no cultivation? What the hell do they do besides be gay?
A question that remains to be answered. No, there's a lot going on.
Okay.
In fact, I would actually be curious to see if you could take a stab at what you think Guardian is about.
One of these guys is a vampire for sure, and one of them is a delinquent.
Which could be who? I enjoyed this so much, and I am so invested in the characters, in the plot. Out of like all the Danmei books that are out right now that are ongoing, I'm the most excited for the next volume of this one.
More than Stars of Chaos?
Yeah, and this is another priest book.
Holy cow, okay, high praises.
Yeah, this is your brain on Guardian.
Okay, Wolfwood, The X-Files, is that Felix?
Yeah.
Felix the cat? And the ghost-faced killer?
So, to kind of break down all of the different things that had the most impact on me, I made this collage. So the delinquent character is named Zhao Yunlan, and he is basically, I don't know, he's kind of Wolfwood coded, honestly.
Okay.
Like, he's got this sort of, like, charming exterior, but really he's kind of an asshole deep down.
We love that.
Yes. And he is the director of a special investigation department that deals with paranormal crimes.
Oh.
Basically the X-Files.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
This is a Scully X-Mulder ship, for sure, that we're getting.
Oh.
Kind of.
Okay.
He goes and investigates crime scenes, and his sidekick is a fat cat, like the fattest, most comedically fat cat ever. Like, I cannot stress to you how fat this cat is. The first time he speaks, because of course he's a talking cat, like they describe him as having like a deep male voice, and for some reason the only thing I could think of was
Felix from Stray Kids?
I mean, it's a surprising deep voice. Like, that's, I'm like, oh, so like Felix.
That's so funny.
The book starts out with a new intern in this department named Guo Changgang, and he is kind of a useless newbie. He's a total scaredy cat. He has so much social anxiety about his first job that he walks in, gets like his HR paperwork, he's being introduced to everyone, and he is so anxious that he hasn't even looked anyone in the eyes, and so he doesn't notice that he's surrounded by ghosts. Everyone there is some sort of ghost or weird monster.
Oh.
And so there's a guy who is like a fake monk.
Ghetto?
A little bit better. There is a girl who is a snake woman.
Like all women.
Only one time of the month she's a snake.
Actually,
it's her time of the month. You literally, they make all sorts of menstrual jokes.
The feminism leaving my body reading this book.
We're kind of introduced to like the whole gang right off the bat. That's basically how it starts.
Okay.
Now you may be wondering what the main pairing is like.
Yes.
Well,
there are only two types of Danmei men. No, I will not cite my sources, but yes, I will elaborate. Repressed, slutty waist, male wife, and bi-icon dimples, bad ideas.
I don't know, are you getting a little bit Wongshin, a little bit soft run one, maybe?
Yeah, a little bit chuaning with the waist.
Shenwei and Zhao Yunlan have like a really great contrast and like a really great chemistry right off the bat. And how they meet is Zhao Yunlan sends his stupid intern like out the window to investigate on like a 2-story building, and he immediately falls out the window, and Shenwei is just this professor who happens to be like passing by, and it's like, oh shit, you fell out a window, I'm so sorry. And then Zhao is like running outside like, my stupid intern, oh shit, who is this? A professor or the school hottie? Literally, he says that. He is like immediate dokies for this man.
Oh my god.
He is so down, so bad. He's just like, this is the most beautiful man I've ever seen. And it's like right off the bat, we get the information that Zhao has dated both men and women before.
Okay.
Both women and bottoms, I should say. He's a self-professed top. I don't know how that's actually going to work out for him. It's odd. Like, as soon as he sees him, he's like, next conquest, here we go. It's so fanfic worthy. Like, he helps him pick up his scattered papers. Like, Shenwei is like having this sort of like flustered, avoidant look about him. And, you know, it's like, oh, it's cute. He's kind of nervous around him. But as the reader, you can kind of detect that there's a little bit more going on. It's almost like he knows Zhao Yunlan and doesn't really want to interact with him for fear of letting something on.
Because he's a vampire.
We'll see about that. And also, the cat also has a strange response to Shunwei and is very affectionate with him. So it kind of just, you get the impression that, hey, there seems to be a bit of history somehow between these two. We just don't know what.
Are they having this moment while there's a guy who, like, just broke his ankle falling out of the window?
Yeah, but since he has social anxiety, he makes himself very scarce very quickly. Like, he's just laying there, like, not gonna interrupt the moment.
He's like, I'm okay.
I'm fine. It's kind of funny how often this happens. Like, they're, like, having the most intense moment, and there are, like, people around, but, like, they have eyes for no one but each other.
Ooh, okay.
And so, because Zhao Yunlan has kind of ulterior motives, he's kind of, like, getting him involved. Like, could you help me, please, with this investigation? Just, like, you know, like, who do I go see? Can you lead me around the campus? Give me your number. That sort of thing. And so they get stuck in an elevator together.
Oh.
Another classic fanfic trope.
Delicious.
Mm-hmm. When they finally part, Shunwei is described as like looking behind him at him walking away with a look that has restrained yearning, palpable affection, and deep crushing pain. Like, what?
Oh my god.
You just met. Or did you? So, Shunwei has it down even worse than Zhao Yunlan has. And
wow.
They don't...
I love that.
Right?
That's very, like, run one coded kind of thing.
It's really great because, like, from the get-go, you have the one guy who's, like, doing the pursuing and, like, actively flirty, and the one guy is, like, kind of, like, pushing him off, but like we shan't, we mustn't, but like absolutely has even deeper feelings. Like that's just the perfect dynamic because you get the best of both worlds.
I love
all
that.
Of the juiciness.
I love that.
Okay, so you may be wondering what like the actual plot is. Well, there is a university student who has been brutally murdered. Like her entrails are like out everywhere.
Never liked that word.
Yeah. They're out, they've been nibbled upon. It's like, it's gross. She's described as like a doll with her stuffing torn out. And I tried to find a picture of a doll with its stuffing torn out, but that was too creepy.
Thanks.
They're looking for the culprit. They're essentially looking for this creature that is revealed to be called a hunger ghost. And it is like the most grotesque, disgusting, terrifying creature like I have ever heard or read of in fiction. And I have a picture of it.
Oh.
Next slide.
Okay.
I didn't say it was a good picture.
Did you draw that yourself?
Yes. It's quite good, isn't it?
You know, I see it.
Okay.
That's scary.
Couple of features. It's kind of humanoid and skeletal, and it has like very mantis-like scythe arms.
I was gonna say mantis.
Yes, and it's got like a mouth that opens up like 180 degrees. It has like rows of teeth, and it's like kind of like skinny and skeletal, but like it's hungry, so like when it gorges itself on like ghosts or like humans, it like blows up like a fat mosquito.
Ooh.
Like a pregnant woman, but scarier. So it gets
gross.
Really, yeah, it's so gross. And it's like chasing down like Shunwei and like the intern. It's like so scary.
Wow, okay.
They managed to get through that, and so I got to learn a little bit about like Chinese ghosts and how to defeat them, but it's a little bit convoluted. So next slide.
I still don't know how ghosts die at this point. I'm too afraid to ask. Okay, cigarette, talisman, a whip, a gun?
Yeah, so you could just shoot a ghost with a gun, apparently.
Okay.
Zhao Yunlan has a whip, I think he uses.
Indiana Jones.
He also, of course, you know, he like smokes a lot, and I'm pretty sure he's killed ghosts with a cigarette somehow. Though I'm not quite sure like what the magical quality of the cigarette is for that.
Cancer.
Instantly kills them. I mean, if you're already dead, maybe it's just it'd be that way. I didn't quite fully keep track of like how you like kill a ghost, but the gun definitely worked on the hunger ghost, I will say that.
Okay.
Always bring a gun to a ghost fight.
That's so funny.
But also, there is this really cool figure, very mysterious, and it's kind of like a Grim Reaper figure, but it's like just completely shrouded in hoods, like you can't see like any face at all, and instead of like a scythe, it has a sword, and it's called the Soul Executing Emissary.
Cool.
Cool as shit, right?
Yeah.
So, there's a lot going on, but basically in the world of Guardian, you have the mortal realm, and you also have the Netherlands. You have the underworld.
Holland.
The Netherworld, maybe. It's not called the Netherlands. Maybe that's wrong.
They also wear little wooden shoes and bike everywhere.
Much scarier than the Netherlands. So in the Netherworld, they do not wear little shoes, but they do have a river. They have a government system that is all probably lots of paperwork. They have like a kind of a Reaper system, kind of like in Black Butler actually, except the Reapers are like much less interesting and less gay. They're just like little guys who like go and fetch the souls. In the Netherworld, everyone's afraid of the soul executing emissary because he is a creature that was born of like pure darkness and evil and had just like radiates like just like coldness and death. Everyone's too scared to even speak to him, but he is like a very powerful and respected figure and kind of like, I don't know, upper management. And so when something goes wrong on the surface, he's usually the one to go like straighten things out. Zhao Yunlan is pretty much the only person who has the balls to just kind of treat him like a normal dude.
Okay.
So like when he comes up, their work involves each other, they're able to like talk normally, and he's just like, yeah, soul executing emissary. He's just like a normal dude. He just kind of talks a little bit antiquatedly.
Okay.
You know, but he treats him normally. He's like, yeah, he's a pretty good guy. Like,
yeah.
He has, like, okay, yeah, you okay, creature of darkness and evil, but like, has he ever really done anything like that crazy?
Yeah.
But he's been around for like hundreds of years or something.
Okay.
Like yeah.
There are only 2 types of Danmei men. Part 2. Some guy addicted to cigarettes, the man who nags him about quitting. Okay.
So
okay.
Meanwhile, these two and their blossoming romance isn't going very well. So over like months and months, Zhao Yunlan is like just kind of texting him, trying to like meet up for dinner, and he's just getting the cold shoulder, but he hasn't given up quite yet because he hasn't gotten like a straight no or like a reason. It's just kind of been pushed off. Like a classic case of someone who's never had to do any chasing, just like people have just fallen into his lap, and now like the one time he can't get exactly what he wants, he's like obsessed.
Right.
Another detail about Zhao Yunlan is that he wears Oud Wood cologne. I looked it up. It's a real perfume. It's hundreds of dollars.
So he's a fancy boy.
He's a fancy boy when he wants to get laid. So he puts on this perfume and he finally gets to go on a date with Shen Wei. And at dinner, like Shen Wei kind of returns this like expensive gift that like was thrown on him and says, I think I may have given you the wrong impression. I'm so sorry, but like there's nothing here. Nothing's happening. And like Zhao is shook. He is shook. He thought for sure that Shen Wei had the hots for him. He wasn't wrong.
Yeah.
But like he just doesn't understand what's happening. So it's super duper awkward. But to give Zhao Yunlan credit, he's actually very socially adept. And he is able to like turn around an awkward situation, just kind of put on the charm, just like, you know what, don't worry about it, my mistake, super awkward, just at least let me actually treat you to dinner to like make up for it, like as bros. Like,
okay.
It's fine. He's probably the only guy in Danmei to go, well, if someone's not interested in you, you should probably just back off and be normal about it. However, he's actually more disappointed than he even expected.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
Which is new for him. Like, he's kind of more of a casual person, but he's surprised by like the sincerity of his own feelings.
Okay.
So he goes, of course, into like extreme bachelor depression, and like his home life is like ridiculous. Like his apartment is just like a mess. He doesn't cook, he doesn't clean, he's a total garbage slob, like Chuanin actually.
Oh, good.
Classic damn bitch, do you live like this situation.
But this is not the Chuanin guy.
No, not the Chuanin guy,
yeah,
I know.
yeah.
We're mixing things up a bit. But then more fanfic scenarios occur, thank God. There is a classic mugging situation where Zhao Yunlan is walking along and he hears some yelling in an alley. He goes and checks it out, and there is Shen Wei handing over his wallet, no problem, just being like, whatever, go away now. But then the muggers try to take a pendant from around his neck.
Ooh.
And he's like, that's enough. But before he can do anything about it, Zhao Yunlan like bursts in and is like, don't worry, babe, I got you. It's like, bow, bow, bow. He just like kicks everyone's ass and is like, that was so cool of me, I'm so glad. And immediately passes out because he's actually sick.
Oh, okay.
In one of my favorite Danmei tropes, he is mysteriously ailing. It's a chronic condition of sorts where he just sometimes gets a little tummy hurty disease.
Okay.
And so Shen Wei takes care of him.
Aww.
Like absolutely like takes him home, tucks him in, like makes him food, cleans his whole house, like
we love that.
that is a man who wants to be wed. And there's a very great interaction because of course like after he's doing all of these things for Zhao Yunlan, he's like, you have to like me a little bit. Like there's no way you're doing this
You're in my
to
house
another man.
making me soup.
Yeah. Do you really not like me? Zhao Yunlan pressed himself close and set the food aside, keeping Shen Wei from running away. Shen Wei, look at me. Look right at me and say it again. Tell me you don't like me. When Shen Wei abruptly looked up, the usual gentleness in his eyes was gone. Backed into a corner, he spoke almost harshly. A man's role is to marry a wife and have children. You're still so young. You shouldn't go against the natural order of things and human nature. It's absurd.
This is now case file coded.
Right?
And this is He Yu and Chi Ching Chung.
Honestly, they give a very soft version of them as well. For sure. So he like goes full on like in love with him to like a little homophobic, which is so funny. Even Zhao Yunlan is like floored by this. He's like, what are you talking about? Like, who cares about like whatever abstract concept you're thinking of? He literally like asks him, are you a closeted homophobe? Like, are you just in the closet that deep?
Yeah.
And he's just like not convinced that Shen Wei doesn't like him. He just thinks that he's holding back for some unknown reason.
Yes.
That's the version of Shen Wei that Zhao Yunlan gets. But meanwhile, in his absence, that's when Shen Wei's having sappy boy hours. The whole day, it had been as if the sight of Zhao Yunlan leaning against the headboard, eyes closed, had been seared into his retinas. Anytime he shut his own eyes, the image floated to the forefront of his mind. It haunted him. It was as if, after freezing and starving for thousands of years, he had suddenly fallen into an untouchable, tender haven, a haven where everything around him held deathly temptation and swallowed his reason, no matter how he struggled against it. Every time the words Zhao Yunlan drifted into his ear, he sank an inch deeper into the bottomless quagmire. He was already past his neck. Soon he would drown. Like, drowning in desire?
Fellas, is it gay to be drowning in desire?
So he has it down really bad. And thankfully, the object of his affection is super duper shameless. So after that whole awkward interaction, Zhao Yunlan was like doubling down on like, this guy definitely likes me. And so all bets are off. Every time he's around him, as of course they keep happening to come across each other, he's just more and more shameless. Like, he runs into him like taking his students on a field trip. They're going to the same remote location, and so he's just like, let me buy your kids your students lunch, you know, at the airport. Like, there's this one scene where Zhao Yunlan is like holding the sauce for Shen Wei's chicken nuggets in his hands because they're standing in the airport terminal, and so that he can like, just so that he can like dip like his nuggets.
That's so funny.
And of course, since his hands
You would do that for me.
I know, I thought of us. It was kind of cute. It's so ridiculous. So he's like holding the sauce for his nuggets, and then at the same time, like stealing fries like from his hand with his mouth.
Oh my god.
Because his hands are occupied.
Oh my god.
Which made me think of you as well.
That's really cute.
It is really cute. But more plot stuff is going on. So volume 1 had 2 arcs in it, so kind of 2 separate cases. So that was really easy to kind of tell apart. And what's interesting about like the individual cases that they're investigating together, they both had a foundation in like a twisted kind of love. Either like a love that turned into hate, a love that wasn't able to like blossom to fruition and led to some sort of resentment. Like, these ghosts come from like stories of like human love gone wrong.
Okay.
And so I really think that that's interesting in terms of like exploring how their relationship progresses.
The theme was love.
The theme was love. I really enjoy that. Just kind of them investigating and finding out like the source of all of these problems comes from like humans really making mistakes or having twisted feelings. Like, it's really, really good. I think it creates a nice context for their relationship growing.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's also the bigger overarching plot, like between these investigations, becomes quite clear. So there are 4 hallowed artifacts.
Okay.
And they are out in the mortal world running around, and they need to be collected before a creepy masked guy collects them, because these hallowed artifacts have the potential to break the Great Seal, which separates the 3 realms. So like, seal breaks, netherworld, mortal world, heaven, everything gets jumbled up very bad. All the ghosts eating people, probably not a good thing. So to slap a little band-aid over the seal, we need the strength from the hallowed artifacts.
Okay.
Just 4. We've already encountered 2 of them. One was taken by the creepy masked guy, who is about as inexplicable as he sounds. He's just this weird guy who shows up, clearly has beef with Shen Wei, but also clearly has some sort of knowledge about Zhao Yunlan as well.
Oh, okay.
And another thing about creepy masked guy, in addition to him wanting to steal the hallowed artifacts, is that he oddly supports the gay agenda. He kind of knows Shen Wei has like a thing for him and like keeps bringing it up.
So the creepy mask guy is like, you guys are gay. I
And
approve
Shen Wei's
that.
like, shut up, shut up, shut up. Shut up right now.
Okay.
It's really interesting because I think it's implied that the reason why they have run into each other so many times is because the creepy masked guy like knows that Shen Wei has a thing for Zhao Yunlan and kind of wants to involve him in this mess and kind of use that as like a chess piece against him.
Okay.
Because he's also saying to Shunwei as they're fighting, like, he's gonna find out. He's going to know. He's so close to finding out. That clever boy is so close to knowing your secret.
Oh.
And scaring him. And so there is actually quite the big twist. And I saved that for last because if anyone wants to avoid like a pretty cool spoiler for the first volume, you know, this would be one to maybe like save for yourself. So Shunwei is not a vampire, but he is the soul executing emissary.
Oh my god, no way!
Yup. So like he's had this like double-sided relationship with him because he just happened to like meet Zhao Yunlan as like his like human alter ego, which he only had in the first place to kind of be close to him in the mortal world.
So this guy, so literally the Grim Reaper came to Earth, saw a really hot man, and was like, fuck, I need a human Sona, or else I'll never get laid.
But the great thing is, like, the soul executing emissary, like, as that guy, that's how he came to know Zhao Yunlan, because he was, like, the guardian. He's, like, the head of this, like, special investigation. So, like, they had, you know, this kind of, like, relationship.
They got the little back and forth. I already had the idea that he respected him.
Yeah, they have this, like, really nice, like, unique relationship where, like, he's probably so lonely, and, like, that is the only guy who, like, talks to him. But there's even more than that because, like, the soul executing emissary has been around for, like, hundreds of years. The Guardian.
Problematic age difference.
I can fix this. Now, the Guardian is a position that's been around for hundreds of years.
Oh.
And it's been occupied by different people in the past.
Okay.
Or has it? A little bit of reincarnation AU is happening here.
Oh.
So, it seems like in a past life, they may have known each other.
Cool.
Yes, it seems, it's not like completely revealed or anything, but that does seem to be where the plot is going.
I love how there's like the modern regular romance of them like going on dates, getting sick, and helping each other, and then like the deeper level of their connection.
Of being like, I loved you once before and now I finally found you and I will never let you go, but also like this is super creepy and I should probably like never let you know this.
That's amazing!
Wow! And okay, the cherry on top to all of this is that I looked it up on Seven Seas and there is only 3 volumes to Guardian.
Nice.
Okay, the next volume's coming out in January. Oh my god, I forgot to tell you about the horny scene.
Oh!
They get drunk together and Zhao Yunlan is like, okay, he's getting a little handsy with me. I'll just take him up to his room. This is totally on the level. It's fine. And they get into the room and Shunwei is like coming on to him, like pushing him down on the bed. Shunwei is like going for it. He's actually the one like pushing him down and like biting his neck, and
it's like they're like gonna bang. Oh my god!
And Zhao Yunlan is like, oh my god, and like as it goes on, he's like, oh my gosh, like there's no rush, babe. He's calling him babe. He's like, oh, you're a little kinky, aren't you? But like it gets more and more intense where he's holding him down like harder and like biting him harder. And you had the vampire theory, and that is not where. Obviously he's not a vampire, but basically it's like a vampire scene where it's like it's starting to turn less into a sexual thing and more into like something is going wrong here.
Okay.
And so he's like shoving him off, like, wait a second, like what's happening? Like this clearly isn't like something Shunwei would want to be doing.
Yeah.
He's like beyond drunk. He's something else entirely.
Ooh.
Though I do think it's like from some sort of like very deep desire. It's like manifested itself like I want this person so badly that I would like just consume them whole sort of thing. Because I mean he's like soul executing emissary. He's some sort of creature of darkness,
That's
right?
so embarrassing.
It's so embarrassing. You know what's more embarrassing? Shunwei fucking dies.
What?
Zhao Yunlan shoves him off of him and then realizes after that point that he is not breathing. So what happened was Shunwei got so drunk that the body he was the mortal human Sona he's possessing, like his soul just left it. He passed out, like his soul passed out from being drunk and just left the body behind. Now, Zhao Yunlan like has no way of like understanding that, so he calls 911. Just like he has to explain this.
He doesn't know he's the soul
emissary.
emissary.
He doesn't. So he's like, this person just fucking died while we were like about to bang. But after he calls 911, he's like, wait a second, this is like super duper weird. Like, it's not like he had a heart attack. Like, that's just weird. It's like his soul just like popped out of his body. And so he finally like pieces it together after that, but he's already called 911. So like in the ambulance, he's like burning talismans behind his back, like soul summoning spell, soul summoning spell, soul summoning spell. And suddenly he's like,
and he comes back to life.
And he comes back to life. And then they're in the hospital. He's like, you're just gonna have to play along with whatever the doctors say. They're gonna say you're allergic to alcohol or something. Just like, sorry, we're here. My lord. After he dies, when they're about to have sex, he realizes that something's wrong. So he kind of does some like ghost test things. It gives him a reading that he's not human and that he is like some sort of creature of horror and evil from the deepest abyss and all that jazz.
Right.
So he's like, know who that could be. Like, he already kind of had some suspicions, but nothing like close to like reaching the truth on his own. So that really sealed it. So by the time they get to the hospital, he's just like, and I know your identity. And Shenwei is so embarrassed. Like, it is so awkward between them. It's so awkward.
Oh no, he found out I'm a centuries-old evil beast. What am I gonna do?
And he knows I like him.
Wow.
And so, but Shenwei doesn't remember that they were drunk and about to have sex. So it's just super awkward between them. They kind of like, Shenwei acts really distant with him despite them having now more common than ever. Finally, Yao Junlan is like trying to like force him to talk about it more and like just like explain to him like what's going on. Shenwei is like, did I do anything when I was drunk besides die? And he's like, yep, you threw yourself at me. And like just like throwing back the most embarrassing situation at him because like personally Zhao feels like really embarrassed that like he had been flirting so shamelessly with the most respected and high and mighty like creature of darkness ever. I know this guy at work. And it is the coolest guy ever. And I said the cringiest things to him. And I acted so cool beating up those thugs in the alley when he could have just eldritch horrored them into like
another dimension.
But there's just so many good scenes. Like, I didn't even like talk about a lot of the like the scenes they have together because there's just too many. But like whether they're fighting together or working together, like defeating evil together, like there's so much tenderness between them and so many like funny flirty moments. So it's like a good balance between like romantic tension and comedy and like really good spooky paranormal writing. And it's really refreshing too because after reading like a few like historical or fantasy Danmei novels, you kind of get a sense of like the different like tropes or like foundations of what it's supposed to look like. But this is a whole new system of like the underworld and ghosts and like all of the different things that go into that.
So now where's it gonna go? He knows 1, he's the evil emissary. 2, he wants to bang him. What's gonna happen next?
All the secrets are out.
Are they gonna get together?
Maybe they already did in another life.
Oh, that sounds so good. It also sounds like a good little Halloween book to get.
Yes, oh my gosh, it's perfect for Halloween.
Nice.
Like any spooky vibes, this definitely does it.
And they're both hot, so I'm in. Well, if you guys would like to buy this book, I'll have a link to it in the description. And be sure to subscribe if you enjoyed Stitch's Book Corner. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Bye! If you would like to hang out and chat and play Danmei-related games with Stitch and I, you can join my YouTube membership. Any membership tier is able to join my member live streams where we hang out and play games and just talk about our favorite boys. Click join down below to learn more.